Another way to choose colors is by going through your swatches. So as you can see, there is a swatches window over here attached to the color window. And you can see a lot of swatches are ready to go for you right in here. And if you want to, you can create your own swatches. So for instance, if you were working on a project where you had a teal and a navy blue color, and they weren't necessarily over here in your swatches because they're kind of colors that you made up on your own. Let's find a nice teal. So say this teal I have, and I want to add it to my swatches so that I can save it for later. I selected that color, it's ready to go, and all I need to do is click on this new swatch button. Like so. I can name my swatch, or I can leave it as the default title of swatch 1. I'm going to call it Teal Custom. And then when I press enter, it's over here in my swatches, and I can save it and use it as often as I want. Again, if I want to save a navy blue color, that's a custom color of my own, I can set this color here, go down to blue, find that rich navy blue, there we go, press OK, and then again, create new swatch, call this Navy Custom. Perfect, so now that teal color and the navy color is ready to go. So for instance, if I made a rectangle, it defaults to navy because that's the color I still have selected. But if I wanted it to be a different color, like the teal color for instance, I will go over to the rectangle in my layers, double click on that, which brings up the color picker. I could either try to find the same teal, but that's going to be pretty challenging for me to do. Or I can go over here to swatches and just grab that swatch and then press OK. And now it's that teal color for me, which is quite nice. Say I don't actually like any of the swatches that are in my swatches window and I want to start fresh with my own new swatches. It's kind of a challenge to go through and delete each one of these at a time, and to do that you would just drag and drop the swatch into the trash can and do it that way. And in the past I've done this and it takes forever because you end up accidentally double clicking the swatch and bringing it up, and then it's a whole huge challenge. Something easy that you can do is hover over the actual swatch and then press on your Alt Option key, and you'll see some scissors pop up, and you can just click on that with the scissors and keep clicking, which actually creates this nice animation of colors moving. But what I'm really doing is I'm just cutting out each swatch one at a time, like so. So I'm doing this, getting rid of all my swatches. I don't like them. Almost done, almost done. This is really an exercise to see how fast you can click. Almost done. Okay, let's cut these rest of them out. So look, I've cut out all my swatches, I have none left, and now I can start from scratch. So say I want to save some swatches for later. My work day to day, I have different color schemes for different clients, and every client has sort of their own set of colors that I need to be using throughout the entire project. Okay, so if we have a client that uses particularly green hues, so let's say we were sampling their colors and they use this dark forest green. We would save that color to our swatches. We could name it Forest. Then we can save the next color, which is like a lighter, paler green. We could save this, call it Pale Green. Their next color is like a grayish green, for instance. Okay, save this, call it, oops, sorry, I didn't call it anything. Call it Gray Green. And one last color, let's do a very, very, very deep dark green. Save it here, call it Dark Green. Great, okay, so we have our 4 colors for our color scheme here. So if I wanted to save it and refer back to it later, there's a couple things I can do. I can go up here to this little menu icon and click on it and do Save Swatches. And we just need to give it a name. So we'll call this Green Color Palette and save. Okay, something else that you need to know that you can do is you can reset your swatches at any time to those default swatches that we didn't like by just clicking on that menu again and going to reset swatches, and it will say, are you sure you want to replace your swatches with the default colors? Let's say okay. And look, there are those colors again that we hated so much that we just spent so much time deleting. But if we want to load those swatches that we just saved, our green color palette, we would go up to the menu and we could say either load swatches, which will load those green color swatches on top of the existing colors, or we could do replace swatches. So let's replace them. And here in our color swatches window file, we have Photoshop has saved our color swatches in that file for us. Thank you, Photoshop. So I can select green color palette and open. And now it has replaced those default colors with our green colors again. Something that I've mentioned before, but it definitely needs to be mentioned again, is that you have what's called a foreground and a background color. So if I interchange between this dark green color and the light pale green color, I would select this background white color here and then put it on light green and press OK. So now I have this rich dark green color as my foreground color and the light green as my background color. So if I'm creating shapes and I want it to be dark green, but then I create another shape that I want to be light green, I can easily toggle between the two and now make a light green shape. And it's really nice if you're using two colors often to just easily toggle between those two colors off and on as often as you need to. And that's really how foreground and background colors become beneficial to you in Photoshop.